welcome to our news edition. These are the headlines. The President of the Republic, Abdelmadjid Tebboune, chairs the installation ceremony of the High Council for Import Regulation. On the third day of his official visit to the Russian Federation, the Army General Said Chengriha, Chief of Staff of the People's National Army, visits the airbase of Zhukovsky near the capital Moscow and the headquarters of the Dynamica company specialized in the aeronautics technology. The Summer University for the Arab Sahrawi Democratic Republic executives begins on Wednesday at the University of Budweil under the slogan "Half a Century of Resistance, Commitment, Determination." A quick visit to the ancient times of the 6th century in the province of Shershel, one of the most beautiful cities in the Mediterranean coast. Welcome back. The President of the Republic, Abdelmadjid Tebboune, chaired on Wednesday at the headquarters of the Presidency of the Republic the installation ceremony of the High Council for Import Regulations. On the third day of his official visit to the Russian Federation, the Army General Said Chengriha, Chief of Staff of the People's National Army, visited the airbase of Zhukovsky near the capital Moscow with Dmitry Chugaev, Director of the Federal Service for Military and Technical Cooperation of the Russian Federation, where he was given details of number of military aircrafts and the technological development in the field of military aviation. Then, the Army General visited the headquarters of the Dynamica company, specialized in the aeronautics technology, to inquire about the latest technology and equipment in the field of pilots training, especially the aeronautical simulator programs. The new headquarters of the Tanzanian embassy in Algiers was officially inaugurated on Wednesday by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the two countries. Diplomatic members of several countries attended the ceremony. The two ministers highlighted the bilateral relations and cooperation and the ways to strengthen them. During the fifth session of the Algerian-Tanzanian Joint Commission on Tuesday, several cooperation agreements and partnerships were signed.
The commitment of Tanzania and Algeria to strengthen and deepen our bilateral ties. It represents a great milestone in our shared history and a brotherly relationship, and opens up avenues for enhanced collaboration across sectors. On behalf of the government of the United Republic of Tanzania, may I thank the government of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, and specifically the Minister of Foreign Affairs and National Community Abroad, for the support rendered to us in establishing this embassy. We would not have been able to do it if it wasn't for the support from the government. We thank you very much for that. Diplomatic missions serve as vital bridges between nations. They are catalysts for preserving peace and security among nations, building lasting socio-economic partnerships, promoting culture exchange, and facilitating dialogue at various levels. Over the years, our countries have fostered a strong partnership built on mutual respect, cooperation, and shared vision for the development and progress not only of our nations but also of the Africa continent at large. We have over the years cooperated bilaterally and also worked together on multilateral platforms to address regional and global issues, and have been actively involved in promoting peace, stability, and economic development for Africa. These joint efforts are rooted from a deep sense of solidarity and our shared history for struggle for independence and common challenges we face as developing nations. Our countries have advocated for African unity and self-determination and have collaborated closely within regional organizations like the African Union to address pressing issues affecting our nations and the continent at level. And I'm very happy and thankful that I had an opportunity, I had a great honor to meet His Excellency, the President of this country, and he endorsed these priorities. We are very, very thankful. It was indeed a great honor to meet His Excellency, and it was very gratifying to hear him saying in person that I'm endorsing these priorities and you have my personal support. Thank you very much, Algeria. Thank you very much, people of Algeria.
I would like to thank you, Madam Minister and their sister, for the kind invitation extended to me to participate in this auspicious gathering celebrating the official inauguration of the Tanzanian embassy in Algiers. I warmly congratulate you and congratulate the Tanzanian ambassador to Algeria on this inauguration, which coincides with a major event in our bilateral relations, namely the 60th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between our two sisterly countries. I am confident that the presence of a resident embassy of the United Republic of Tanzania here in Algiers will enable us to accelerate the pace of our bilateral cooperation while consolidating our political convergences over all issues of mutual concern and interest.
On this occasion, the two parts greeted the positive results of the Algerian-Tanzanian Joint Cooperation Commission, results that express the mutual desire to consolidate the existing cooperation ties between the two countries. The ministers of the two countries talked about several regional and international cases of mutual interest, especially the situation in Niger, as they highly condemned the unconstitutional change of government and expressed their support to the statement of the Peace and Security Council of the African Union that calls for the return of the legitimately elected President Mohamed Bazoum. In the Western Sahara case, the two parts reaffirmed their position as they support the legitimate and unalienable self-determination right of the Sahrawi people, Western Sahara being the last colony in Africa. They greeted the efforts of the United Nations General Secretary Personal Envoy to relaunch the negotiations without preconditions between the two actors of the conflict in order to find a fair political solution that would be accepted by the two parts in accordance with the relevant solutions of the United Nations Security Council and the African Union. Under the slogan, "Half a Century of Resistance, Commitment, Determination," the Summer University for the Arab Sahrawi Democratic Republic executives began on Wednesday at the University of Budweil. Open days on the development of the Sahrawi case. Different fields are on this agenda. More details with Daniel Bahri.
It is an evocative and meaningful slogan that was chosen to celebrate the 11th edition of the Summer University for Executives of the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic and the Polisario Front. Half a century of resistance, the determination to impose itself, a slogan which illustrates the commitment of the Sahrawi people to continue the fight until self-determination. Whether they are on the front lines in Al Izza wal Karama refugee camps, in the occupied Sahrawi territories, or in exile, the Sahrawis are commemorating the 50th anniversary of the outbreak of the armed struggle with the same determination and commitment to continue the fight until independence. They are determined to achieve their objectives, strengthened by international solidarity and the support of friendly countries which defend just causes, led by Algeria, faithful to its constant positions. Organized in Boumerdaz province, the Summer University this year chose the name of the martyr Abdullah Habib Bilal to retrace the course of 50 years of fierce struggle, an opportunity for the executives of the Arab Sahrawi Democratic Republic and the Polisario Front to deepen knowledge, forge experiences, and build their skills. The proceedings will continue until next August 14, with the organization of open days on the developments of the Sahrawi file in different fields.
Lesotho reiterates its support to the self-determination right of the Sahrawi people. The Prime Minister Sam Matkan received the Sahrawi Foreign Affairs Minister Mohamed Sidati as the special envoy of the Sahrawi President and the General Secretary of the Polisario Front, Brahim Ghali. Matkan expressed his wish to see this African country free very soon. In Zimbabwe, the Minister of Energy and Mines, Mohamed Arqab, held talks on Wednesday with the Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Winston Chilando, with the presence of general directors of the groups Sonatrach, Sonelgaz, Sonarm, and Naftal. The talks focused on the ways of cooperation, investment, and partnership in the mining sector. Arqab expressed Algeria's will to develop important projects in the mining sector to diversify the national economy. The Zimbabwean minister expressed his country's interest to take all the investment opportunities with the Algerian companies in the mining sector. This is his statement. 71% of the new baccalaureate graduates were oriented according to their first three choices. The results were lately sent to the future students, but they will have to wait 3 days before the final registration. It's an online operation. Sabrina Fergnit with more details.
Digitization, facilitations, and modernization are the new tangible aspects of higher education and scientific research sector, as the new baccalaureate holders are not only saving the time but also the effort, thanks to the new platforms on which more than 70% of them got their first choice of university and specialty. The registration procedures were easy, especially if we compare it to the previous years. We certainly saved time. It was fast and easy for us and our parents. We didn't need to use the old ways.
كانت عن طريق الرقمنة سهلت على الأولياء وعلى التلاميذ.
We're witnessing tangible facilitations. In our days, technology is more than important. Now it will take me just a few clicks and I'm finally done with my registrations. On these platforms, no less than 70% of these new university students got the much-awaited news of their first choice being selected. I've chosen medical studies. It's actually my dream to become a surgeon, and now a part of it is realized. I'll pursue my studies at the University of Algiers 1. My first choice was medical studies as well, and I got it too. Easy procedures that would save the time and the effort is how the new students are registering to their new academic year.
Within the framework of the fight against terrorism, detachments of the National People's Army arrested 5 support elements for terrorist groups during separated operations across the national territory. A maritime brigade belonging to the Territorial Coast Guard of Algiers in the 1st Military Region thwarted at the port of Algiers an attempt to introduce to our country a large quantity of cocaine, amounting to more than 35 kilograms, hidden on board a commercial vessel flying the Maltese flag. The operation was initiated in coordination with the National Security Services thanks to the exploitation of intelligence reporting the introduction of a quantity of cocaine by the ship Harris coming from Malta, and which was docked at the level of K-33 at the port of Algiers. To this effect, floating units of the Coast Guard were dispatched to secure the perimeter of the operations, and as soon as the search warrant was issued by the public prosecutor, the vessel was searched by the Coast Guard agents, allowing thus the seizure of the said quantity hidden in the crane on board the vessel. In the same context, combined detachments of the ANP intercepted 36 drug traffickers and thwarted attempts to introduce 174 kilograms of treated cannabis from border with Morocco and seized more than 271,000 psychotrop tablets. As part of the fight against terrorism and thanks to the exploitation of information, detachments arrested five support elements of terrorist groups in Tamrat, Adrar, in Gazzam and Janet provinces. The ANP detachment arrested 161 individuals and seized 28 vehicles, 195 generators, 103 jackhammers, 5 metal detectors, as well as quantities of explosives, detonation tools, and equipments used in illicit gold planning operations, while 19 other individuals were intercepted and 6 hunting rifles, quantities of food stuff intended for smuggling and speculation amounting to 13 tons in addition to 16 quintals of tobacco and more than 28,000 units of various drinks were seized during different operations across the national territory. Similarly, the border guards, in coordination with the National Gendarmerie and Customs Services, thwarted attempts to smuggle quantities of the amounting to 7,900 liters in Tbissa, Souqaras, and the Taraf provinces. In addition, the Coast Guard thwarted, at the level of our national coast, attempts of illegal immigration and proceeded to the rescue of 270 individuals on board handmade boats, while 237 illegal immigrants from different nationalities were arrested throughout the national territory. In Niger, following the military rebellion against the legitimate government in the country, the United Nations General Secretary Antonio Guterres urged once again to strictly respect Niger's international obligations regarding human rights and restore the constitutional order quickly. Antonio Guterres expressed his concern following the reports that affirmed the arrestation of members of the government. In the Palestinian-occupied territories, the 15-year-old young boy Mohammed Zarir was killed by the occupation forces in the city of Al-Khalil in the south of the Western Bank, while the city of Nablus was attacked by the occupation forces that used heavy military equipment towards Palestinian houses. The Palestinian presidency affirmed that it's a violation of the international right and urged the Security Council to protect the Palestinian people and apply the international legitimacy decisions. Sad news. Our dear colleague at the EPTV, Malik Ben Farhat, died at the age of 58 years old after a long disease. The deceased was a driver at the television park for long years. In these painful circumstances, the General Director of the APTV expressed his condolences to his family in his name and in the name of all the workers, praying God to have mercy on his soul. The funeral took place on Wednesday in Stif after the prayer of Al-Asr. Heading to the province of Shershel, one of the most beautiful cities of the Mediterranean coast, where we had a quick visit to the ancient times of the 6th century. Sabrin Taferganit with more details.
Shershel, a historic city and an open-air museum, offers a fascinating insight into Roman, Phoenician and Ottoman civilizations. Alongside priceless archaeological remains, this city takes us on a true journey back in time. Shershel is a touristic town of excellence with visitors coming from all over the country. Shershel is a breathtaking town. I visited the Roman ruins and other museums in the town. And I came from Bishar province. With its Roman archaeological remains and rich and tangible heritage, Shershel is an exceptional city with captivating potential, traditions and customs. Shershel is the ancient city of Phoenician and Roman civilization. In our municipality we have several historic sites, amphitheaters and museums to welcome our visitors, and we keep them clean. The summer season is the best opportunity to discover this city, with its wealth of archaeological treasures, which is part of Algeria's identity and patrimony.
And we finish our edition with these beautiful images of a unique environment treasure, the Jardin d'Essai in Al Hamma, in the ecologic heart of the capital. Water, greens and fresh air. And we wrap up our edition. Thank you for being with us. See you soon.